so as you can see though, we've got the oil drain out of it. We actually found some metal shavings in the drain plug, which Wormy he done washed it off. He's over there washing parts right now. So we pulled the rear end cover off now. We pulled the plug out of the bottom. We got all the oil draining out. And we are about to, once this gets clamped, all drained out, we're going to flip this thing up and we are going to start disassembling this right here. As you can see, right here, we'll pull the pinion plate, pull all that stuff up. The only concern that I've got in this rear end is we've had this slop. We've had like a slop, as you can see. I've had that, so I got to figure out what is causing that. Another thing we found this right here was wore out. It's a really good thing we pulled up. So we kept having problems with the rear end and getting up in our transmission. Could not figure out what was going on. So definitely think this has something to do with it. It's moving that forward. So my biggest concern though is I've been looking up and trying to figure out if anybody's had any problems with all this. So we're trying to look into this and see what we got going there and watch us as we tear this thing apart. First is we're going to take our hub seals. We're going to take these off. We're going to pull our axles out, get all of our axles out so it free spins, so it's not in our way, nothing like that. And then we'll go ahead and pull the, once we get it all done, we'll pull the hub and everything off. But the easy way to do this though is when you're tearing one of these down is put you a tire wheel on the other side, lift it up. As you can see though, we left the 4-bar rods on this one just to make it easier to put back in, but it looks like we're going to end up changing the bird cages on this car as well. So we've also got rotors and stuff we got to put on. So a lot of updating we'll do during our downtime, but right now we're going to pull the axles out. We got studs in here. It makes it easier to tighten down. We're going to put studs in, sometimes we come back out there. We're going to put that in. You can see it makes it a lot easier to concentrate on your everything are bad about. You can see though, it's gotten some water in there. So that's another big thing though too, as you can see, it's gotten some water. So we reseal everything up in this thing and go from there. We're just doing these. I'm just gonna make a mark for my preference right here, because I know where these bolts need to go. That way I know this is where my mount goes, and it just makes it easier for myself when we go back to put it back together. So that's what we'll do right there. As you can see, we'll continue separating this though. As you can see though, we've got all the bolts out there now. And then now what we'll do is break this thing, break it loose. Kind of wanted to get the top broke loose right there, as you can see. And what we'll do is pull the cord just like that. We'll set this over out the way. And now we have a rear end opened up, and as you can see, you've got the spool in here, so we're going to check all that, bearing and everything. That's just some stuff from where it fell off down in here. Yeah, you can see all the silicone from the last time we had it refreshing. We pull these apart every year, so the biggest thing though I'm having to deal with is the slack in this screw shaft. So my biggest problem is trying to figure out what we've got going on here. So what we'll do though is we'll continue to dismount it as well. As you can see, it's pull that apart right there. We'll take that over there though, and we'll get it all cleaned up. Get it cleaned up. We'll pull the spool out of there. We're going to check. You can see we've had some. Metal shavings right there as well though. But we'll get all this cleaned up. Get every bit of this cleaned up real good, and then before we even think about putting it all back together, we'll go ahead and put new bearings and stuff in these as we bread it all apart, just to get it fresh. Our spool though gear our gear and everything out there looks good. So that's always a plus. My biggest thing is that center section. So that's what we're gonna work on now. So we'll get to cleaning all this stuff up and we'll get back with you. For me. There you go. Little grease in there, baby. Alright, as you can see though, we've got everything. This is your center section right here, and we have taken out the through shaft. I believe we found our problem. As you can see, this thing has a little O-ring in it, so it slips in there. It goes all the way through, it clips in there, and that's what keeps it locked in. So, one thing we found is we found some problem. We got some wear right there, and this right here, it looks like it has wore actually down. So what it's done is it's caused it enough to get some slack. So we've got some wear and tear in our through shaft here. So what we're gonna do is now I'm gonna go ahead and order a new one and go ahead and order some new bearings as well. Get these cleaned up. It don't seem to be bad, but while we've already got this far, we'll go ahead and put new bearings in it. But hey, we found the problem, and that's why you go through this stuff like this. It's pretty important. I felt it here a few races ago and couldn't really figure out where it was at. So the only way you do is when it gets time, I mean, nothing was broke. So good thing though is we found it now. We can get it off. Everything else looks good in it. So now we'll order some parts and we'll put it back together. But there's kind of your basic tearing down of a rear end. So one thing I don't do, I don't really throw a lot of parts away. I had an old rear end out there that broke the top one there. I found this. One thing I've done, this came out of a winter. This is the through shaft on a winter right here. And as you can tell, it's got a snap ring in right there to where this one don't right here. This has like an O-ring style. But you can see it's got a lot of play in there. So me, what I think what happened was is this thing was rocking back and forth there, and what caused the wear and tear on that. I could be wrong, but I feel like that could be part of it. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I've done all my measuring on it. It looks like this one will work. So now I'm just curious to put it back in and see what we've got there. So we'll put it back together and see what we got. If not, we'll go order a new one. All right, as you can see, Wormy has got this thing cleaned up really good, this Franklin rear end. And one thing about it, this is a shaft out of our winters. This is one of the ones that it actually broke the top shaft there. So kind of find out these things, they are interchangeable, which works out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this one back in here just like this. All right, we're gonna tap that in there. As you can see, our shaft is through there. Oh yeah, 10 times better there. And what we'll do is we'll put our bearing and stuff back in there. In there. Almost there. There we go. Just like that, look. Hey, and guess what? We have no more play. So we'll post a video here in just a minute after this. As you can see the play that we had. We had, I'd say, 1/4 to 3/8 of play in this thing. So what it was doing was it was allowing the drive shaft and stuff to also flex. So under high RPMs, I'm pretty sure this was pretty bad shape. So as you can see, we've got it down there now. We'll start sealing the rear end back together. All right, so we've got a fresh paint on the rear end. Everything's all cleaned up. Everything, we went ahead and retorqued all these, make sure all this. So now we'll start assembling everything back together. First off, you'll start off with this is your left side bell housing. So you can see the short end and the long end. The short end always goes over here. This is the adjustable key right here. This is how you can adjust that thing. Get in there, make sure it slides in there just like that. And then what we'll do is we'll start with our center section there. We'll get it all, we'll run a bead of caulk around here. I use the gray Ultra Permatex. This stuff works really good. Anyways, I'll put a good line around there. We'll set that down in there, and then we'll take this side right here. One thing about it though, it's real easy, as you can tell. These 2 bolts holes right here, you see the separation in those? That is right here on the back, which is what covers your gear right here. So it's pretty simple, as long as you line it up right there. So whenever you start doing this one over here as well, you can tell it's right there. So when you go to set it down, boom, perfectly in line. And like I said, the main thing now is to get it good and sealed up. So what we'll do is we'll come around here, we're gonna seal all this up as we put it together, and we'll start putting the rear end back together. So watch out, stay tuned. As you can see though, now we've got it all assembled back. Wormy has got the bolts and everything all cleaned up. We got everything refurbished and inspected. So now what we'll do is we'll start putting all of our bolts and everything back in there and getting this thing, then I'll torque this thing all down, as you can see, and we'll start getting ready to put this thing back in. Alright, as you can see though, now we've got the rear end all complete here. Everything is tightened down. Our plates are all in. Now we'll start putting our pinion plate in. We've got this all cleaned up. We went through all of our holes. We re-tapped and drilled all those just to get everything kind of cleaned out where it's dirty. Our bearing and everything, got new seal and stuff in there. We've already replaced the seal on the pinion plate. So now what we'll do is we'll get it all put up on there, and we'll get this locked in here, and we'll start getting this down on to the next one. Won't be long. We get this in, and pretty much we'll set this rear end back in the car, start tying everything up. I know it's a little bit easy, pain in the butt, but it's nice. We just take the 4-bar rods off, slide it out, slide it back in. It's just a little bit easier to deal with. But fresh, rear end's fresh. Time to start the season now. All right, now what we'll do is go ahead and put the gear back in there that we had, and we'll put this timing cover back on it, or timing cover. We'll put this cover back on. Go ahead and seal it off. That way we can go worry about, once we get it putting back in, we don't go worry about nothing busting off or nothing like that. And then once we go practice, we'll know, go change gears or whatever. But we're gonna put all fresh new oil where everything is completely apart. There's no oil in here. We did put a little bit of pre-lube oil on this thing when we assembled it there, all back after cleaning it. So, hey guys, this is one of them things that's really good to do, especially in the off season. Especially if you're like us, you consider yourself a low budget team, so you can't just go out and buy a new rear end or something every year. So you're refreshing these things up, and this one's just like new. So we're back going, so let's put this thing in the car. What you doing? You video? What's up? Yeah, you know what we're doing. Now we in here, Dang, what are we doing?
About to set the rear end back in and get it all mounted.
Start getting everything back together now.
Start getting everything back together. You got it all done, spray painted. And you're gonna put her in.
So it's the off season. We don't get much of one, you know what I mean? So what we try to always attempt to do is we strip everything down. As you can see, this is just a bare frame down here now pretty much. We pull everything apart and just what we'll do is we rebuilt refreshing the rear end, changed a few things in it. We've cut a few bars, moved a few bars around, stuff like that in this car, and now we'll start putting everything back together and go with it, you know what I mean? Start getting ready. The season starts for us February 28th at Sonoma Raceway, so that's the first points race. And we'll kick it off from there, and it's working on the schedule right now. We'll pretty much race about every weekend up until about October, November or something like that. So looking forward to it. Got a lot of races scheduled, we're working on a lot of racing this year, so, and chasing this championship. I don't know about you. You ready though, or?
Oh yeah.
We'll see how we do, man. We got high hope. That's the biggest thing. We want to go out there and we really want to win this thing. So we just got to put all the effort to it. We got a great team behind us and got a great driver. See what we can do, bud.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned.